Hey beautiful souls, this is Sandy and I'm so excited to invite you to part 6 of the Soul Awakening podcast series, Embodying the Universal Laws. This Tuesday, August 5th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be diving into one of the most powerful and misunderstood laws of all, the law of cause and effect, aka karma. We'll explore how every action creates a ripple, how conscious creation plays a role in your reality, and how to align your intentions with the greater flow of the universe. This episode is all about owning your power, taking full responsibility, and learning how to consciously co-create your path. So mark your calendars, bring your heart, and get ready to awaken even deeper. I can't wait to journey with you. See you then. Welcome to Embodying the Universal Laws. This is part 6, the law of cause and effect, aka karma. Did you know karma is only available in third density? We get to experience it. We get to use it as a tool. Did you know that it's very personal? In my learning of it, just diving deep into it, what does karma mean for me? I heard Michael Beckwith define karma as personal. We think karma is a bitch. We think karma is our knight in shining armor that protects us from other people that do us harm. But when I started to really break this law of cause and effect down, it is very personal, energetically. I take those pauses so that you can figure out where you fit in with it. If it's very personal, you are now saying, well, how does that work? Well, it doesn't say that when someone does something wrong to you, that they shouldn't get what they deserve. But it might not be necessarily from you. The universe has already in play that whatever they put out, they're going to get back. The thing is, sometimes we're not there to see it. We're not there to orchestrate it. Because the law of cause and effect, or karma, doesn't need any orchestration by us. It already knows exactly what it needs to do. It mirrors back energy that we put out. So every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause, and nothing escapes this law. So I put down a definition of this law that best describes it for me. The law of cause and effect is the universal truth that every action, i.e. cause, produces a corresponding reaction, i.e. effect. This law is immutable, just like gravity. It operates whether you believe it or not, whether you are conscious of it or not, or aware of it or not. It's constantly working. It's constantly listening, vibrating. It is the cosmic law of accountability. And it shows up in the most unexpected ways. But it's always vibrating to your frequency. So what you plant, the seed that you plant, the cause, will be the harvest that you have. What you plant, the universe will mirror. What you put out, you get back. Your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your decisions, all your behaviors are causes that set invisible forces into action or motion. The effects may be immediate or they may be delayed. They may show up in the most unexpected ways, but they will always be aligned. This law underlines a deeper truth. You are not a victim of chance. You want to believe that. You are a co-creator through your choice. You're not a victim of chance. Life is not fucking with you. Life is doing everything because of you. So we're going to talk about some engaging examples. You might find yourself fitting in here. I found myself fitting in, and I used these because it was like, ooh, that was me. So inner cause, outer effect. Let's just start with that. A person who constantly thinks I'm not good enough, which is the cause, unknowingly makes a choice and emits energy that leads to missed opportunities and a low self-worth outcome, i.e. the effect. Been there, done that. What you put out, the universe will mirror back to you, and it will open up situations, circumstances, and conversations that reflect that. If that's what you're putting out, the universe has no other recourse but give it exactly back to you. The energy-wise, the situation or the circumstance or the scenario or the discussion or the people might be a little bit different. Let's talk about karmic relationships. If someone constantly manipulates others for gain, which could be the cause, they may later find themselves in relationships where they feel used or unseen. The effect. The universe reflects their own action back to them. It's not making anything up. It's not a punishment. It could be considered as education. How about another example? Financial abundance. Very vague, right? A person who consistently invests time and energy into developing valuable skills, which could be the cause or the seed, eventually attracts abundance. They can attract opportunities and financial wealth, which can be the effect. It just might not be instantaneous, but it's inevitable. Maybe one more. Emotional patterns. Yes, this is a good one. Dealt with this one before. How we feel. Repeatedly reacting with anger to stress. That's the cause. Can lead to strained relationships, health issues, or even feeling disconnected. That's the effect. On the other hand, choosing a calm or inquiry instead of reactivity shifts the trajectory. You get to say, okay, I'm not going to respond. I've been responding this way my whole life, and it doesn't get me anywhere. This person still keeps coming back doing this shit, saying this stuff, or being exactly this type of person, this aggressive person, or this controlling person. And I'm not going to give them what they want. Their perspective of who they are when they're putting out their energy, they want a reaction. You give it to them, then they're going to come back again to get more. You get to ask yourself a new question, and instead of it, why me? What about me is attracting this energy? What about me? What am I putting out? Because they keep coming back. Like energy is attracted to itself. It's going to come back. What are you putting out that brings that person back into your life? It's not about you looking and going, I'm a bad person. It's not that. Not about you judging yourself or you making yourself the victim to them. It's about saying, what would I like to, if I'm going to put out something, I'm going to say something back to this person, what am I going to say? Because I'm planting something to harvest it. What do I want it to be? Emotionally, for me, they've already made their choice. You can't change their choice of however they stood in proximity to you and made whatever statements they made to you or took whatever action they took to you. Know that the universe is going to deal with them because it has to. It doesn't need your dictation. It doesn't need your for you to choreograph anything in their manner. What you get to do is you get to say, how do I want the universe to deal with me and mine? Right? So in my studies of studying more about the law of cause and effect, I found out that there were 12 sub-laws of cause and effect, or karma, as you know it. Each of these laws offers insight into how our thoughts and our actions shape our lives. The first sub-law is called the Great Law. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. What this says is, as you sow, shall you reap. Every thought, every word, every action sets a chain reaction. What you sow, shall you reap. Positive deeds eventually bring positive experience, as so negative deeds. This is believed to be the cornerstones of karma. The second one is the law of creation. It simply states that life doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen. It requires our participation. We are co-creators with our reality, or of our reality. Our intentions and our actions change our environment and our circumstances. What we put out changes how we see, feel, how we become, how we shift, and how we evolve. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The third is called the law of humility. The divine just told me to slow my roll. What you refuse to accept will continue for you. That's simply what you resist shall persist. Acceptance of your current situation is the foundation for change. Resisting it perpetuates it. Pretending that it doesn't exist just allows it to keep coming around, and it gets louder. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The fourth sub-law is the law of growth. It says, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. True change begins from within. Personal growth transforms your outlook and thus your reality. So if you know thyself and you go within and you grow within, then you change the outlook or the outward world. If you're looking at your world and you're saying it's so chaotic, I can't get away from it. Everywhere I turn, there's wars and disagreements and people arguing, and every time I set out to do something, there's somebody blocking my way. Go within. Ask, instead of asking a why me question, you get to ask, what is it that I'm vibrating at that's bringing this? Without judgment, without making yourself a victim. What am I just vibrating? What do I keep putting out there that keeps getting all these people and all these situations and all these circumstances bombarding me? What is in is out. What is out is in. Okay? You must evolve internally before you can shift externally in order to evolve. The fifth law or sub-law is the law of responsibility. Oh, I know some people just push back. Me responsible? What? I know. We've been taught our whole lives from society, from schools and teachers and even parents who didn't know any better, that we need to blame other people for everything that happens to us. Shift the blame. If you shift the blame, then you can't make any changes because you've given all your power over to someone else. All of it. All your power to create has been given to other people because you blame them. That blew my mind. The law of responsibility says you must take responsibility for what is in your life. Your external world mirrors your internal choices. What are you choosing? Blaming others blocks your transformation. Owning your role opens up your path for growth and expansion. It opens up your path for shifting and evolution, being part of the evolutionary process of your story. The sixth sub-law is the law of connection. Everything in the universe is connected. Everything. Every being in the universe, where no matter what dimension you're talking about, is connected. Every action is a part of an interwoven chain. Small or seemingly insignificant steps can influence larger ones. They can influence larger outcomes. The seventh sub-law is the law of focus. It says you cannot think about two things at the same time. That's not saying that you're not multidimensional. It's simply saying divided attention undermines progress. Cultivating positive, focused thoughts eliminates negativity. If you have two things going on at the same time, you're giving one of them more energy. If you're focusing on one at a time, then you know what energy that you're putting out. The universe is only going to mirror the one that has the most energy. And it says, oh, okay, got it. Let's do that. Because that's where you're vibrating. That's where you're focused at. It doesn't mean that you're not multidimensional. I know you went there really quickly, right? It's talking about merely being focused, knowing thyself, and where what energy is making its momentous moments happen for you. Divided attention undermines progress. Cultivating positive, focused thoughts eliminate negativity. Eliminates. I didn't say that word in its entirety. I'm going to slow my roll. The law of giving and hospitality is number 8. What you claim to have learned, you must be put, or you must not be, but you must put it into action. You can read all the books you want to read, but if you don't put it into action, you can know all about unconditional love, but if you don't put unconditional love into action in your life, if you don't put it out there, you can't get it back. If you want somebody to unconditionally love you, but you're not unconditionally loving, number one, yourself and others, then the universe, how is the universe going to know what to mirror back to you? I'm pointing my fingers, right? True learning manifests as generosity and many others, as selflessness and many others. What you are giving out, an expectation, returns in some kind of form. What are you giving out? Are you being selfish? There are a lot of selfish people in the world, and they get exactly what they give. Maybe they haven't noticed it yet. But if they're selfish, which Ra talks about, service to self at the cost of all others, which you get to choose to do, the universe looks at that and says, okay, that's what I'm going to give back to you. So more people who are selfish people are going to come into your life and interact with you. Right? It always returns in some form. So I think I missed one. So the 9th law is called the here and now. The law of here and now. You can call that the law of of living in your now. Old thoughts, old dreams, all prevent you from having new ones. Good. Hydrate. Ponder that for a minute. These are 12 sub-laws. Old thoughts, old dreams, all prevent you from having new ones. They get in the way. Living in your present moment enables genuine transformation. Doesn't mean that you can't go back and review your past, and in your review have a discerning moment and go, oh, I went through this, this, and this, and this. Ooh, and I chose that. And I think maybe if I'm going to do this situation is coming around again, or it's revealing itself again, maybe I'm not going to choose that one. And then you come back to your now moment and you make a different choice. Dwelling on your past and obsessing over the future steals your power to act on it. It steals your power to act in your now. Matter of fact, it doesn't steal anything. You just give all that power over to your egoic self that likes to stay there in the past. It's comfortable there. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. The 10th sub-law is the law of change. Change is the only constant in all of the universe. It's always going to happen, no matter what. That's the criteria by which you shift and evolve. History is due to repeat itself until we learn lessons or do something differently. Patterns endure until consciously altered. Patterns are just energy waiting for you to give it either new direction or direction. You're the one that has to recognize the repetitive cycles that you're in and then decide to break them or change them or alchemize them or surrender them. Only you. The 11th sublaw is the law of patience and reward. You're going, oh, you made that up, Sandy. No, I had to dive into it. And then I went, patience and reward. What it says is delayed gratification yields lasting results. If you're not constantly being thankful and grateful for every little thing, every day, every now moment, then how does the universe know to give you more or to mirror more back to you? If you're not being patient, if you're asking for things and then it doesn't miraculously show up in a day or two, then you're cursing it. You're going to get what you curse because you're more focused in that. Right? Meaningful achievements require time. That's why we were given time in third density. That's why everything is linear, because there's time for us to choose a path. If it's not the right path, we get to choose again. We get to have an experience. That's called a journey. Meaningful achievements require time, and they require your confidence and effort. You're the one that needs to be patient with yourself and give yourself grace. You were born with it. You're the one that needs to be persistent. You were born with that as well. There have just been people who have told you not to be persistent, that you're being too loud, you're being too out there. They want you to shrink so that they look better, or you don't make them feel itchy or bad or confused or whatnot. They want you to shine less. So however they believe they're shining, they can keep shining. It's about you planting your seeds, bringing it to harvest, and then when your fruit is ripened, you get to reap it in due season. Pick what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's okay. The 12th sublaw is called law of significance and inspiration. I know you're saying, Sandy, you made that up too. It states that our actions ripple through eternity, not just this third density. What you contribute reflects your energy and intent. And remember, in the divine design, energy plus intent plus energy equals creation. You're the co-creator with the universe. Even small acts of being inspired or being uplifted or uplifting someone else or inspiring someone else can leave a lasting legacy. Every positive effort enriches the whole. And guess what? Every negative effort diminishes the whole. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Bob Proctor talks about the law of cause and effect. Have you heard him?
If I drop...
Here we go.
If I drop one of these, one comes back. If I drop two, two comes back. Now look at, there's only 5 of them there. You can see there's just 5 there. Let's suppose I drop 3. Will I just knock the 2? No. If I drop 3, I get 3 back. Now, if I drop 4, I get 4 back. See, that is a law. Energy out, energy back. and it's equal and opposite. You get the same back as you put out. The law of cause and effect. If you're not happy with what you're getting, you better focus on what you're giving.
If you're not happy with what you're getting, you need to ask yourself, what are you giving? What are you putting out there? How are you putting it out there? Are you embodying it? Are you defining it for the universe to mirror back to you? Energy likes multiplying itself. That's the only directive that energy was given from the Creator. Go become. So these 12 these 12 sub-laws are kind of guides to your conscious creation, your conscious transformation, right? Number one, you reap what you sow. Number two, you actively shape your own reality. Number three, acceptance is your gateway to change. Number four is real growth starts within. Number five is responsibility opens your mirror. Did you hear that? Your responsibility opens your mirror. Everything is interconnected. Number six. Focus directs your energy. Number seven. Give freely to embody what you believe. Number eight. Number nine, present or the present or the now moment is your only true opportunity. Everything happens in your now. Number 10, change your cycles that no longer serve you. It's up to you. Number 11, rewards come to you through patience and dedication. Give yourself grace. Number 12, every action holds potential to inspire wide-reaching impact. It doesn't always just impact you. And if you are in service to others, you will see that. You'll see it in a broadening scope. Your scope just kind of widens out. So these principles serve as a holistic guide to living with awareness, integrity, and positive intention, helping you break. These help you to break your old patterns. These help you to align your actions and deeper purpose. And remember, you're responsible for you. Pretty much you have to do the work for yourself. How to embody the law of cause and effect with self. Let's deep dive. Take full ownership. Do you say, or possibly can you say, or have you thought about saying, I am the source of my reality. I am very resourceful. Some of you ask, how do I live in this law? How do I utilize it? To live aligned with this law, you have to adapt your mindset that everything in your life is responding to you. Everything in your life is responding to you. The universe is listening to you. That life isn't happening to you. That is not fucking with you. That is not trying to do you a dirty, or do you a down low, or pull the rug out from under you. This doesn't mean that you need to blame yourself for everything that has not happened according to the way you expected it. It just means that you take a pause moment and look at life so far and then discern it instead of judge it. And in your now moment, if that situation or circumstance or conversation is making its rounds again, you can ask a different question than why me? The universe is looking for what next. I still have this. It hasn't been completed. What do you want me to do? It means you get to recognize your creative power through your choices, through your beliefs, and through your energy, not through someone seeing you a certain way and you taking on their perspective of you. You dealing with you. If you've taken on their perspective, then you have to do a deep dive within yourself and ask yourself, why did I do that? What in me attracted that person to come in and do their rant about me, and then I take it and I let that be me? I found out for me it was being a people pleaser. I wanted to keep everybody happy because as a kid, I wanted people to smile all the time. I wanted people to laugh all the time. I wanted people to be happy. So I didn't know now in my adult life that I was pleasing everybody so that everybody stayed in a happy mood. I took it upon myself to do that. When you take full ownership of your story, of your energy, of your cause and effect, you stop outsourcing your power to circumstances, to people, and to your past. You begin to notice where you've been operating on autopilot. I was always operating on autopilot, repeating or allowing things to repeat because of the cause that I already put out there. When you take full ownership, you shift from being reactive to being proactively choosing new causes, making a new choice, taking a new thought and saying, how about it? Let's choose this one. Hold on, I have a big truck passing by. Right? Making a new decision, making new behaviors. You can only be responsible for that. Other people aren't. The situation isn't going to dictate something new for you. It's not going to change unless you want it to change. And you say, Sandy, how do I do that? How do I do that? Maybe by changing the question. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask, what role did I play in that? It makes you accountable without making yourself a bad person, without you judging you. Or maybe you can ask, what am I being invited to see? Why am I shifting? Why is this shifting in front of me? What is this? What do I need to see now? Remember, ownership is your gateway to transformation. Next, maybe you can pause and choose wisely. I've been in at least 2 or 3 conversations that make me want to jump immediately into defense of myself. And this person knows that that's what their intent is, because then that way only they get what they want to get. If I'm defending myself, then they get what they want to get. And they don't, all their their problems and idiosyncrasies don't get seen. They're commanding or controlling the conversation, especially if they get the reaction that they get from me rolling my eyes or huffing or my shoulders go up or whatnot. They got what they wanted. At least they thought they did. But the first time I reacted, and I didn't like the way it felt to me. My heart raced. My body was constricted. My head hurt, and I wanted to cry, because the words that were coming out my mouth were never words that I thought I would say to this person. And then I just stopped and said nothing else. Then the second time, when it happened again, I actually had to use one of these questions. What role am I playing in this? Because the same scenario came up with the same exact jargon from that person, the same exact words. So I was invited to see what I needed to see. I saw how I saw and heard how this person really felt about me. There's nothing I can do to change her perception of that. What about me do I want to change so that I don't ever have to have another conversation or conflict? Me being responsible for me, not me not being responsible for me to have the emotion. You can unconditionally love a person and not like the things that they do or say to you. But in knowing that the law of cause and effect is personal, that allowed me to surrender the responsibility of trying to change somebody else. Now I can work on myself. Ownership became my gateway to my transformation. I couldn't do anything else about anyone else. Taking a pause gives me a chance to choose make a different choice. Every choice is a seed. What do I want to harvest? That's my question. If I know that every choice is my seed, then that means when I plant it and water it sufficiently, it's going to harvest. What do I want to harvest? Every moment, especially in emotional charged ones, you are at a crossroads. In that moment of those last two conversations, I was at a crossroads. It took me to a whole new way of choosing my thoughts, choosing my seed that turned into words, turned into action, choosing my action wisely. I had come to learn that I didn't want to repeat old patterns. I wanted to choose new ones. I wanted them to be aligned with the version of me that I was becoming. I wanted to change. I wanted to shift, and I wanted to evolve. I couldn't do anything else about other people who were trying to prevent that for me based on their perspective. The law of cause and effect invites you to create micro moments of mindfulness where you pause and become intentional before acting or reacting. Before I share with you some questions that you can ask, I'm going to share another clip from the Buddha.
Once, a man approached Buddha and asked, "Buddha, what is Paticca Samuppada, the teaching of cause and effect?" Buddha smiled gently and replied, "My friend, everything in life arises because of cause and effect. Nothing exists on its own. When one thing arises, another arises. When the first thing ceases, the next also ceases. This is Paticca Samuppada, the law of dependent origination. Buddha continued, "Let me give you an example. When a seed is planted in soil, watered, and given sunlight, it grows into a tree. The seed is the cause, the tree is the effect. If any condition is missing, no water, no sun, it cannot grow. Life is just like that. Suffering also grows from certain causes, like ignorance, craving, and attachment. And this cycle goes on, life after life, unless we understand it and break it. But if you remove the causes, suffering no longer arises. That is how the cycle ends." Buddha added, "Think of anger. It doesn't appear without a cause. It's triggered by words, shaped by your ego, and fueled by your thoughts. But if you are mindful in that moment, and instead of reacting, you respond with patience, the effect changes. The anger stops there, and the chain of suffering breaks. That's how you change your karma, by understanding the links in the chain and by changing your response." Buddha concluded, "Cause and effect are everywhere. You sleep late, you wake up tired, you eat unhealthy food, your body suffers. In the same way, if you plant thoughts of kindness, patience, and wisdom, your life will bear the fruits of peace and happiness. But if you plant anger, greed, or jealousy, the results will be suffering. Remember, the person you are today was shaped by countless past causes, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Once you understand this, you will no longer blame others or fate. Instead, you will take responsibility for your choices. You'll realize that your present is shaped by the past, but your future is shaped by what you choose now. This present moment is the only place where new seeds of cause can be planted. So plant them with care and make sure they are the seeds of peace and happiness."
So in your pause, here's a question that you can ask. Is this reaction going to create connection or division? The first time I had my encounter, I didn't ask that. I just shut up because I didn't like the way it felt. I began in that pause, that first time, crying within because I felt victimized. The second time it happened, I took that pause and asked this question. Do I want connection or do I want division? With this person, it wasn't division. I did want to unconditionally love, but I didn't agree with the method or what was being done, the way it was being done to make me like was what was being said. And then that's when I realized unconditional love means that you don't have to like what people do. You don't have to change to allow people to do what they want to do. You can change for you not to be in that presence of that. What are you going to put out that the universe can mirror back to you to move you, to shift you, to transform you from that situation or circumstance? Another question is this aligned with who I want to be within the world? Not just within the world, but who I want to be in the world. Another question you can ask is, what future consequence, which means effect, could come from this? What am I going to create? I'm going to put some energy out there. What am I going to create with it? I'm the co-creator. Energy is going to mirror exactly what I'm going to put out. What do I want it to be? You could put your hand on your heart and remind yourself to pause in stressful moments. If you don't want to do that in the presence of someone else, you can embody yourself with your hand on your heart and take a pause and have that internal question, who do I want to be in this moment? You can begin choosing not just from your emotion, not to say that you're not supposed to have the emotion. Emotion is where you learn what you want or what you don't want, what you like or what you don't like, what you need or what you don't need, what you want or what you don't want. You have to feel those emotions. I have a question. It says, how do you deal with a spouse who is perpetually negative? I feel like I'm at a crossroads. Don't negate your feelings. He or she is being perpetually negative because of her perspective. And you get to ask yourself a couple of questions about what type of energy are you putting out there that allows her to come into your space with those negative emotions or negative statements or whatnot. It's not saying that you're at fault for it, but you get to ask yourself, what energy do I want to change about me that maybe when I'm engaging with my spouse, she might have some positive moments? Because you can't change her or him. But you get to ask the questions about you. Energy is attracted to energy. What energy are you putting out there? Choosing not just from emotion, but from vision of your higher self. Your egoic self brings the emotion or allows the emotion to flow. Your egoic part of you, that's personality, needs to learn from that. Even your higher self is learning from your emotions. It's learning how to feel what it is like to be human. You can consciously set intentions, or we all live a conscious life that we're living life. We're not unconscious of living. If we're only in body and mind, we're conscious that we're living life. We're not aware that we have control over our lives. But the moment you have an awakening, you become aware that you can change your intentions or set intentions. Your inner state sets the tone for your external results. So if you have chaos going on, if people are coming to you who are, every time they turn around, they've got something negative to say, or they're constantly bombarding you with hate or animosity or whatnot, you get to ask, what energy did I put out to attract that situation, that circumstance, that person, that conversation, that type of violence or whatever the levels that you're going through with. And then when you deal with you can say, oh, I did X, Y, and Z because I had this story, on rotation. It's constantly playing. I got to change that story. Nobody can change it for you but you. And your egoic self, that personality, is going to play tug of war with you to try to not let go of it. But only you can make that you let go, that little you, right? Before you take action or enter a room or write an email or speak to someone, pause and set clear energetic causes or intentions. Cause and effect. What do you put out the cause? What do you want the effect to be? This is about initiating your life of awareness rather than being reactionary individual. Your intention determines the energy behind your action. And that energy magnetizes the energy that will match you from the universe. Think of it as creating a blueprint for the effect you wish to generate. Daily examples of intentions. You can say, I intend to lead with clarity and kindness today. And then embody that so that the universe knows what your clarity is, what it looks like, what it feels like, what your kindness is, what it looks like, what it feels like, so the universe can mirror that back to you. Or you could say, I choose to see my challenges as invitations to grow. Instead of the why me, ooh, yep, this is showing up. It's challenge worthy. Why is it showing up? What energy did I put out there for it to show up? And okay, I'm going to grow from it. Let me ask myself some embodying questions. Or another intention is, I will show up with integrity regardless of how others behave. Hardest thing to do. I know, I'm finding that. I'm working through that. Hardest thing to do when other people behave exactly the way they want to behave, regardless of if it's nice. They're going to be exactly who they're going to be regardless. And they've already told you that. I'm going to be me regardless. Right? They know their shit stinks, but they don't care. Right? But how do I want to show up in this situation or circumstance? Do I want to be exactly like them? My mother always told me 2 wrongs don't make a right. So I had to start learning to start my day speaking my intentions out loud. I wasn't a big journal person. I had to anchor myself in my intentions and in my energy. I had to take breaths when situations or circumstances or conversations showed up that weren't aligned for my highest, or I didn't believe was aligned for my highest and greatest good. And before taking action or reacting, I had to take that pause for me. I had to mind my thoughts and my language. Words and thoughts are seeds. I know you've heard it called spells, but they're seeds. You speak as if the universe is always listening, because it is. I had to speak as if the universe was always listening to me, because it is. My inner dialogue and my outer words had to vibrate and be in alignment, because they're the most powerful causal forces I had. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your identity, and what your identity says becomes your belief and your truth. What you speak out loud carries vibrational weight and influence. You heard Beyonce sing that song, Upgrade Me? Upgrade your inner cause by replacing I always mess things up with I am learning and growing every day. Try that out. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Upgrade yourself from I can't afford that to I'm learning how to create more abundance for me. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Upgrade yourself from moving from they never listen to me to I express myself clearly and confidently. Try those. I'm not saying it always works for me, but I remember. Try this out for size. Spend one full day tracking your language and your thoughts. Then at the end of that day, ask, what kind of reality did I reinforce with my words today? Ask yourself that. And then if you can, begin using affirmations, not as your hype, but as a seed of causality. A seed. You're planting a seed that's going to grow and that's going to harvest. Speak to yourself with this voice for your higher self. Or of your higher self. Not just for your higher self, of your higher self. Take ownership of what you planted. Pause and choose the seed of thought, word, and behavior. Set clear intentions to align your energy and actions, and speak and think clearly, knowing you are knowing that you are shaping your foundation. This helps you identify reoccurring effects in your life, like toxic relationships and lack of funds and money that's always and you come to the end of the month and you never have any money left. Or you're always anxiety ridden. You get to ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I believing? And how does this what kind of cause is this in my life? And then you get to say, okay, I'm going to set some new causes, some new beliefs, some new actions, and some new boundaries, because you asked all those other questions. Cause and effect. Karma. And guess what? Karma's only in third density. It's created so that you can learn. It's very personal. Right? Very personal.
What I wish I knew at my first retreat
sure
instead of my 10th.
Everything.
It's not just about healing, it's about finding your soul family. This August, you have a sacred invitation right outside Cincinnati. Imagine this, 2 days away from the noise and rush, camping beside a peaceful river surrounded by people who just get you. The Lion's Gate 8/8 retreat is your chance to explore who you truly are. Guided by Marcus Christolite of Sacred Light and special guest Sadhanam Singh. You'll dive deep into the mystery of the Lion's Gate portal, discover your connection to star home Sirius and the ancient Giza pyramids, and even build your own Egyptian chakra totem, a practice you won't find anywhere else. Ever wondered about your starseed origins? Get ready for the Akashic Soul Origin Meditation Therapy session. A journey within that might just change how you see yourself forever. There's more. Gong baths to shake off old energy, cacao ceremony to open your heart, an ecstatic dance to set your spirit free, all led by Sadhanam. Between sessions, enjoy delicious plant-based meals and the magic of nature all around you. This retreat is about more than healing. It's about real connection, feeling safe to be yourself, and growing together as a conscious community. Join us August 8th and 9th. Tickets are $77 for one day or $122 for both. Meals, camping, and cosmic vibes included. Ready to step into your light? Reserve your spot with the link below and text Marcus at 513-238-5580 if you have questions. Your journey begins now.
Remember, the law of cause and effect reminds you that you are not at the mercy of the world. You are shaping it with every moment. You are embodying this law. You are no longer asking, why is this happening to me? You get to ask, what is this showing me about the energy that I put out? And what do I want to create next? If you need help with embodiment, you can find me on Instagram at Soul Awakening with Sandra. Here on my YouTube, you can find me on my Spotify. Right now, that's called Soul Conversations with Sandra. If you like a meditation, you can DM me, Star Meditations with Light Language. You can start tapping in to know thyself. Tapping in to know thyself. Only you can do that for you. I am there to hold space for you, speak light language for you, help you understand how to embody the universal laws as your tools. Join me next Tuesday when we will be talking about the seventh universal law, the law of rhythm. And we will have a special guest. I thank you for being part of this learning discovery about how to be part of the universal law in form. Thank you. Ashe. Lekeshi shalaku umtai se sendai shalaku ulchanate e ishalada.
(2023) Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending. Thank you from the Sacred Light Broadcast Network and Sacred Light Productions for tapping in and tuning in to all live and replay content, holistic, conscious, for your empowerment. Tap in to the Christ light within. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember that you are the one that you have been looking for. enjoy this content, if you would like to collaborate or receive production through myself, Marcus Crystolite, direct message or email me at marcustut23@gmail.com to discuss details. Wholeness and balanced love. Ashe.